What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Rob, JT. Today, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about fight promoters, okay? And I'm going to do it through a hilarious story of my past. Now, here's the thing about fight promoters. The reason that I even want to tell this story is because lately I've been on the book, the Facebook, and I've been reading, posts and stuff about people talking about fight promoters. I've been even reading fight promoters' messages about how they're, such great people and stuff. So here's what I want to tell you guys. This is true. Fight promoters, generally speaking, are out to make money. They have to. You know what I mean? It's just like any other business, they have to make money, okay? Some of them are definitely better than others, but they're all trying to make money, including myself, when I throw fights. I try to help the fighters as good as I can, but bottom line, I have to make money or else I cannot do it. Now, the big difference between fight promoters is what they're willing to do to make money, okay? Speaking about myself, but I will say I promise I will not, I don't lie to fighters. I don't promise them things I'm not going to give them. Don't do that, never have. I always compensate them exactly what I told them I'm going to compensate them. And really, that right there sets me apart from a lot of them. Yeah. So, without further ado, let me just tell you a little story. So one time, back when I was starting, I started fighting in 1999, 2000 actually. I started, I guess 2000. Anyways, long time ago. So when I was really new into it, I was training under Steve Crawford. But I was, like a lot of people, I had a couple fights and I started having delusions of grandeur and I wanted my own thing. And so I started setting up fights for my own little team that I was training out of his gym. You know what I mean? I was in his gym, but I had my own little team going because I was crazy. I was stupid. But anyways, so I set up some fights and I took me, Tony Davis, Toby Serber, Austin Cattouse, several tough guys, and we went down to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, so we go down to Tulsa, and anyways, when I'm on the phone with the fight promoter there, I've never heard of the guy, but he had this crazy record of his own fight record, and since he had a really good, legitimate record, I thought that he must be an honest person, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, So when we're on the phone, he's like, "How many guys you got? What's their record?" It's a kickboxing and MMA show, so we're setting up fights. I give him the old rundown, and he's like, "Well, my main event is a heavyweight, and do you have any heavyweights?" I'm like, "I don't have any heavyweights right now." And he's like, "Oh, what do you have?" I'm like, "Well, I got a 205-pounder that's 2-0." And he's like, "Oh, well, cool. My heavyweight's only 210." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. And what's his record?" He's like, "Well, he's like 6-1." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, my guy's 2-0. Well, let's set that fight up." And I set up all the other fights. Well, then we get down there, and everybody on the card, well, most of the people that he had, got their fights. But like me, I don't remember what it was, but I was probably like 7-0 or something. My fight mysteriously disappeared. I had another guy who had a big record in kickboxing. His fight mysteriously disappeared. And really, he just wanted the people that he thought his guys would beat. So in comes this giant dude who's all shredded up. He walks up and he's like, "Hey, are you Austin?" And my buddy Austin's like, "Yeah, I'm Austin." He's like, "Hey, my name's, what was his name? Toby." He's like, "My name's Toby, man. I'm the guy you're fighting." He's like, for one, I'm 260 pounds. I don't know. They told me that they told you that. I apologize. I feel bad about it. He was like, because even on the fight, schedules and stuff, it said, 210 weight class. And he's like, "Dude, I'm like 260, And he's like, "I apologize for that, man." And he said, "What did they tell you my record was?" And I said, "Well, 6-1. And he was like, "Oh man, he was like 17-1, and his only loss was in Thailand." You know what I mean? He was like, "Oh man," he's like, he's been a pro, he was a pro, 17-1. You're a beast. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And especially you're going overseas fighting and stuff, you're a beast. So anyways, I'm like, "Oh man, dude," I'm looking at Toby, because I'm trying. I mean Austin.
Austin.
And I'm like, oh, don't freak out. I'm as his coach. I'm like, I gotta keep this guy calm. Don't freak out. It's good. You're all good. And so this guy named his name.
And by the way, you have the best poker face in the world.
I know exactly. I'm terrible, dude. My emotions. I'm like, I cannot hide them.
Okay.
Yeah. You're good. You're good. So, anyways, so then. Toby, right before he leaves, he says, "Listen, man, you just don't hit me hard, and I'll carry you. Okay, I won't make you look bad, but all my fans are here, so please fight." And I'm like, "Don't worry, we're gonna fight." And he walks away, and I'm like, "Dude, Austin," because I'm a kid. I'm like, "Austin, don't buy this. Go beat this dude's ass. You got this guy. He's scared of you. That's why he's talking to you." I was like, "You got some of the best leg kicks I've ever seen. So you go out there, you kick this guy hard as you can right off the bat." He's like, "I will, coach." He's all hype. I'm hype. I'm like, "We got this.
We can do this."
And our guys actually did good on the card. You know what I mean? I think we won every match. You know what I mean? So, anyways, now is the main event. We go to the ring, first. We're sitting there, and I'm like, "You got this." I'm looking up at him. "You got this, bro." He's like, yeah, I feel good. And then, I swear, all the lights dim in this place. The lights go all the way out. And they had, like, the most epic system in this place, dude. Because there was so much bass in this place. It was like, boom, 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 boom. And that song, "Whoa, Black Betty." That song comes on. And the whole place jumps up to their feet. Everyone's standing, and they're clapping. Stomping, clapping. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Now I'm noticing everybody's wearing a Toby TNT Tillman shirt. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. But it's way too late to do anything about it. So again, I pull out that poker face. I'm like, "You're great. Don't worry about it. We got this. So he gets in the ring. They're like, I'm looking at him. They're getting ready to ding the bell, have the fights going, and I look at Austin and I'm like, game plan. Kick that guy hard as you can. He's like, got it. It's like, ding, ding. He comes up, he throws the hardest leg kick ever. That guy just goes, check. And he goes, throws another leg kick. And he goes, check. And then my guy starts limping. And I'm like, oh, no. That's the first second of the fight. My guy's limping. And you got to understand that Austin was a rugby player from Australia. This kid was tough as nails. I mean, he had surgeries on everything. He was just a bad dude.
Yeah, and, tough dude.
And for him to be limping after a couple seconds, he wasn't faking, okay? I mean, he was hurt. And I was like, oh, no. And I still remember this, dude. Austin went like, he went, just telegraphed it, like, and he hit this guy, and this guy went like this. This guy's like this, he went, boom. Boom! And he hit Austin so hard. Austin was like, locked up, and he falls right into the corner. So we're almost like eye level. He's laying like this, and I'm looking right at him, and I go, stay down. And he looks at me and goes, I am. Hey, so then the fight's over. I'm like, wow. And I'm apologizing. I'm like, I am so sorry, Austin.
That escalated quickly and did not go the way that we thought it would.
The whole fight was like 20 seconds, 30 seconds or something. I was like, that's counting the dancing around. I mean, the dude was an animal, And I should check it. I'm going to check him out after this video, see whatever happened to that guy, because he was good. He was like a strength and conditioning coach for a college. And I mean, he was like 260, but he was chiseled. Yeah. He wasn't like a fat guy. He's buff. Anyway, so then after the fight, I'm like, okay, let me go get your money, Austin. Where's the fight promoter? Oh, he seems to have disappeared. So I go find this guy, Ike Stafford, who was like the middleman that hooked me up, who's actually the first coach of our very own J.J. Barnes. Ike Stafford was. Yeah, small world. I didn't know that. I just figured that out way later.
World, especially in combat.
So I go over there and I'm like, hey, Ike, where's this guy at that's going to pay me? I don't want to name drop him since he's a criminal. But I'm like, where's that dude at with our money? And I could see it on his face because he had the same poker face as I do. And he was like, I'm sure he's going to pay you. And I'm like, oh, what? No, man. Because it's a long drive, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, and we all went there. We got hotel room. I mean, there's a lot of expenses. So I'm like, I got to find this dude. So I'm going around. I go outside, And also, this wasn't quick. This was a long time coming. I go outside finally, and I see a limo. And I go, and I'm knocking on the window. And this dude rolls the window down. He's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? I'm here to get the money. He's like, well, go inside. I'll be in there in a minute. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to sit right here until you pay me. He's like, no, dude, that's not how it's done. Go inside. And I was like, this is how it's done where I'm from. I ain't going inside. And hey, I promise you this, if I'd have went inside, we never would have got paid.
Oh, no.
So we got paid, and it was nothing. You know what I mean? It was nothing. But it was enough just to get back home.
And poor Austin's got ice on his legs.
Oh, it was a terrible night.
Oh, man.
That wasn't even the worst, but that's the only part that we'll wait for the book for the rest of the story to come out.
Nice.
But the moral of the story, guys, do not just trust a fight promoter because they're a fight promoter. Make sure you talk to somebody that you trust that has had experience dealing with that person. You know what I mean? I mean, there's one thing about me is, you'll hear people say, maybe Rob goes hard in practice sometimes. Maybe Rob's an asshole sometimes. But nobody says that I'm not a man of integrity. And if they are, then I'll just tell me and I'll be an asshole to them. You know what I mean? They can sign a waiver. I take that serious. So, but anyways, yeah. So find a promoter that has integrity. That's the most important thing that a promoter has to have. And unfortunately, it is the thing that's most lacking from most of them. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Perseverance MMA on Facebook, perseveranceMMA.com.
Rob Kimmons, at Rob Kimmons on Twitter. John Thane on Twitter. Palest Arms in the Midwest. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.